humans max out at what, like an 80% success rate on routine procurement tasks, but AI is actually hitting 90% right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's wild. It is a fundamental shift in how enterprise systems operate.
Right. So welcome to the deep dive. Whether you navigate complex corporate supply chains daily or you're just, intensely curious about the frontier of AI, today we are decoding a technical blueprint on building enterprise procurement AI agents using Microsoft Copilot Studio.
Because our mission today is really to understand how this tech is moving from merely answering questions to actually taking autonomous action. We're moving operations far beyond just a traditional search box.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because the leap from a standard, deterministic chatbot to an autonomous AI agent, it changes the entire workflow.
It totally does. It's night and day.
Yeah, like a traditional chatbot is essentially a vending machine. You press a specific button, you get a predetermined response. But if you press the wrong button, the system just jams.
Right, it doesn't know how to adapt.
Yeah, exactly. An autonomous agent is more like a personal shopper. It actually evaluates multivariable environments. So if there is a sudden weather delay on a shipping route, it pivots its strategy to find an alternative.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, you start to see why this matters so much to organizations. By offloading tedious data aggregation, invoice matching, and spend classification to an agent, human category consultants are finally liberated.
Yeah, liberated from pushing paper all day long.
Exactly. They can focus on strategic sourcing, building relationships, and, complex contract negotiations instead of just doing busy work.
Right, but letting an AI loose to navigate enterprise tasks, it needs airtight logic.
Yeah.
And the blueprint outlines two main building paths to achieve that without causing operational chaos.
Yeah, so for business users, you have this low-code tool called Agent Builder within Microsoft 365, where you just use natural language to assign tasks.
Which is great, but when workflows require complex reasoning, developers have to shift to the pro-code Copilot Studio canvas, right? To manually construct branching logic and conditions.
Yes, and that shift to pro code is where developers really tackle the big risks.
Well, yeah, because my question is, what prevents this AI from just confidently quoting an expired vendor contract to a supplier?
Right, and that's exactly it. The AI's knowledge has to be managed through a process called grounding.
Grounding, okay.
Yeah, developers must meticulously anchor the agent to thoroughly clean SharePoint lists. If old expired drafts are left in the system, the AI will pull them as absolute fact.
Oh, wow. So it's literal garbage in, garbage out.
Pretty much, yeah.
Grounding is one hurdle, but the text also highlights these literal translation issues between systems that developers have to fix, like with processing vendor invoices.
Oh, the format mismatch. Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah. When processing invoices, Copilot Studio transfers files as base64 strings, but the AI document reader requires a binary file input.
Right. They basically don't speak the same technical language.
Exactly. So to bridge that gap, developers have to intercept the data and convert it using a specific base64 to binary formula. Otherwise, the entire invoice processing workflow just stops dead.
Resolving those data format mismatches ensures the agent can actually read the documents, but then that introduces an immediate challenge regarding governance.
Because an organization can't have an agent reading, restricted vendor pricing that a particular user shouldn't even see.
Exactly. Which brings us to Microsoft Entra ID. The architecture uses this on behalf of authentication to handle permissions.
Okay, so how does that actually work in practice?
So rather than the agent having its own generic security clearance that just opens certain corporate doors, the agent temporarily inherits the exact permissions of the user.
Oh, I see. It's like giving a new hire a secure ID badge, but also giving them a performance review after every single task.
Right. If you ask the agent to pull restricted pricing that you don't personally have clearance for, the agent hits a wall because it is operating strictly as you.
That governance protects the data, but the system also needs to evaluate if the data it pulls is actually useful to you, which is where those feedback loops come in, right?
Yeah, developers embed continuous feedback loops directly into the conversational flow. After generating a response, the user receives an interactive adaptive card.
Prompting just a simple thumbs up or thumbs down.
Exactly.
And those binary feedback clicks, they aren't just disappearing into a void.
No, not at all. They are captured and fed into specialized DAX data analysis expressions equations on a dashboard.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, DAX takes those individual positive or negative clicks, aggregates them over specific time frames and task types, and calculates a running success rate metric. It turns subjective user feedback into a hard, trackable performance number.
Which is wild because it turns AI from just a conversational interface into a fully fledged cognitive engine.
A cognitive engine that actively reshapes how global trade and enterprise supply chains are managed. It's huge.
It really is. So here is a fascinating scenario from the sources to think about and sort of leave you with today. At the absolute frontier of this technology, multi-agent systems will negotiate standard contract terms autonomously.
Which is just mind-blowing to think about.
Right. Imagine a buyer AI and a supplier AI locking horns over a major contract, and they get entirely deadlocked over a single penny. Who is programmed to blink first?